Hey everybody, what's going on? KSA Kris here, the Real Estate Blitz, and I got a good one. And this is more of a question. I'd love to get comments from this one. I'm gonna make the statement, then I'm going to give my opinion, and then I want to see the comments because there's a lot of unique stuff on this one. This is a good one. Okay, so what do you say to your buyer when the listing agent puts a 1% commission on that listed home? That's a question that was presented inside of a private group that I'm a part of, and somebody specifically, this person specifically asked me on my input on it, and that's a good question. So it's an ethics thing. To me, it's an ethics thing, and I want your input. Please tell me, but for me, it's an ethics thing. If I'm working with a client and my client wants this ball, they want to buy this ball, but it's not my ball. This is not my ball. I'm working with somebody that wants this ball. So our job is to buy this ball, okay? The person that's selling this ball said, look, you can help that person buy this ball, but I'm only going to pay you 1% of the total purchase price for that ball. All right, I get that. And but I'm a real estate agent, and minimum is 2.5%. So now let's talk about the truths. The truth is, at least in one of the markets that I'm in, a lot of those local agents, they're very specific. So one market that I work in, if you give less than 3%, the local agents, and I can't prove it, it's talked about, but it hasn't been written down anywhere or anything like that. It's just, it comes up in conversation. We don't personally do it because I think it's disgusting, but the older agents in that community, I've heard them talk about other people. They start blackballing folks and say, look, if you aren't going to pay 3%, we're not going to show your house. And that's what ends up happening. So personally, when I go on listing appointments, I try to coach our clients and say, look, we have to make sure that we pay the buyer's agent. They're the ones that are, going to be helping us and working for us. And if they bring a buyer, this is the typical standard in this area. It's 2.5%, it's 3%, whatever that is. This is the expectation. We want to ensure that we meet that expectation because they're going to be showing the house. And I'm not saying people do it. I'm not saying people don't do it, but we don't want to be in a position where agents are reluctant to show the home because they aren't going to get paid the expected commission. Now, I've had some people like, oh my gosh, that's awful. It is awful. It is awful. But this question is a great example of what ends up happening. So now you have somebody that's basically immediately by asking the question is crossing an ethical boundary. First off, does your client want it? Yes. Are you working for your client? Yes. Are you responsible ethically to show your client all of the homes that are available that they're looking for? Yes. Not based off of commission. Yes. But what a lot of agents do is they're going to look at the commission and go, 1%, I'm not showing that house. I won't show it to them. Ethically, it's just wrong. Period. It's wrong. So now, what if the client comes to you and says, hey, I want to see this house? Same thing. To me, ethically, it's wrong. If they say they want to see it and it's a 1% commission, look, does it suck? Yeah, it sucks. But if that's the house that they want, then that's the house we're going to go get for them because I deeply believe we're going to serve the client first. He's like, well, should I ask the client, should I explain or express to the client that they're only paying a 1% commission, so we should look at a different house? I'm like, are you serious? Look, do they want that house? If they do, then why are you going to bring up your commission? They don't pay your commission. This is the other thing that was asked as we were going back and forth in this conversation. Well, can I reduce the price and then ask the buyer to pay my commission? You could, but again, it's just, for me personally, it's not my thing. If it's a 1% commission, does it suck? Sure it does. But if if my client wants it and my job is to service and support my clients and to take care of them, then I'm going to go after that house for them. I don't care what the commission is personally. That's just me. The only time I get a little awkward is I have a hard time with for sale by owners because I already know what kind of work I'm going to be in for. And I'm very honest with for sale by owners. We're one side of the transaction where there's one professional, and I don't work for them. I work for you. And if I end up having to do all of their stuff, it could create complications. But for a traditional real estate sale, that's where I'm at. Now, in my opinion, the real shame here is the listing agent. The listing agent is garbage. If a listing agent is doing that, that ain't right. You're a criminal. And you should be looking out for the people that are actually helping you sell more deals. That's all I got today. Appreciate y'all. I want to hear your comments. I want to know what you think. What would you do if one of your buyers want to see a house that was set for a 1% commission? So let me know. All right. YouTube, Real Estate Blitz. Facebook, Real Estate Blitz. Subscribe to the channels. All right. Have a good one. Bye.